obviously needs no real introduction. Le Prédateur, making news left, right, and center. We last saw him a little over a week ago, 9 or so days ago in Riyadh. He has done an Instagram Live. He put out a video on his YouTube channel. Go check that out as well. But he is kind enough to join us to talk about everything that transpired in Riyadh and perhaps most importantly, where he goes from here. There he is, Francis Ngannou. Hello, Francis. How are you?
Hello, Arya. I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Where are you off to? Are you coming to join me in studio? Is that where you're coming? Is it a surprise?
I'm on my way, but I might be there in a couple months.
Okay.
I'm in Paris.
Okay. Home of the Olympics this summer. Very nice. All right. So great to see you, Francis. First things first, how are you feeling? How are you doing? How are you feeling after what happened in Riyadh?
I'm feeling good. Surprisingly, I'm feeling good. I did get some medical check, but everything's okay.
Okay. So do you feel, obviously we've never seen you in that kind of state before. Do you feel like you suffered a concussion? Do you feel like anything is wrong with you after something like that?
No. Which is, I didn't feel get any concussion, anything. In fact, I checked. I just went to the hospital to double check in case, because I never been in that situation, and the last action wasn't, the last punch was quite violent.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about emotionally after experiencing that? How are you doing? How are you dealing with the result?
Emotionally, I'm good. The only thing, I don't know, that he was little weird. The only thing that bothers me is that I was never in that fight. Like, he was weird. It was a weird day, a weird evening. I was tired. I was in the locker room for 4 hours and a half waiting, and then even when warming up, was sweating, but still getting tired. And I even told Eric, I'm like, bro, this is weird. Like, I'm sweating, but I feel like I'm asleep. And even when the fight started, I was never there. Like, even the first minute. And I remember, like, even when I get hit, the first punch, I was more surprised about the fact that I'm falling down from that punch than the punch itself. You know, like, okay, man. Sometimes even in sparring, you take some punch that you're like, damn, this guy hit hard.
Yeah.
But you're off, right? But I take a punch. The first punch, I was awake, but I didn't really feel it. I find myself down. I'm like, man, like, what's going on? And then I'm being count. So, okay, let's take your time to get back up. But, and took my time, get back up, and things were still like, I think was still a little blurring, like little this. And I went to the corner. I could have listened to my coach, Eric. Dewey was like, champion, don't go to Southpaw again. He's waiting you, this, that. And I went to the corner and we started to talk. And they were talking to me. I was listening. But one thing, like my my memory and my vision and everything kept going. Like, I never came back from the store. I don't remember like when I came back from the store to go back to the second round.
Oh, wow.
That's just how weird it is. Yeah. So from there, from the store in the second round, in between round, I wasn't there anymore. Like, hey man. So some days not just your day. You can even explain what happened, but it was quite weird.
Have you ever felt anything like that before in a fight?
No, absolutely not. You know that it's normal when you have a fight that maybe you're a little nervous, stuff like that happen. You know it's gonna happen, but by being there so many times, you deal with, you accept it. You know that, okay, I'm gonna feel a little like this, but when I'm warmed, when the fight is gone, when we are ready to fight, I'm there. I'm sharp. Everything is sharp, ready to go. Like I'm on alert. But no, it wasn't. Like I was in the ring, we start the fight, and I didn't feel that right.
You know, one thing that was interesting was it happened very late. It happened at around like 3 a.m. Do you think that screwed you up at all?
Listen, I think we both fought at 3 a.m. It's not like I fought at 3 a.m. and then
Yeah.
Joshua fought at midnight or something. We both fought at 3 a.m. What I think something that happened is that they get me to the arena very early.
Mm.
Like my pickup time was 10:30 to go to the arena. And then when we get to the arena, they tell us that we are scheduled around 1:45
Mm.
a.m. Right? And then around 1, they came to the locker because they was coming to the locker all the time. Around 1, they come to the locker, and then Joshua was still, I mean, he hasn't arrived, or he was arriving.
Oh.
Around 1, I'm like, okay, so like, we are fighting in the same time. Like, how come do I have a pickup time? We receive a schedule, an email from the 5-week schedule, and for some reason, everything, I was there like at least 1 hour before. But the fight, I was there like at least 2 hours before him. I could have just stayed home, yes. That, but again, because even during the week, we were going to places and had to wait. And Dewey was like complaining, like, yes, they do this kind of trick to get you tired. I was cool. I'm like, bro, come, it's okay. I didn't know how he was, how important that was until like the fight day that I have to get there like 2 hours before.
In in
But
ter-
again,
in terms of how you felt in the locker room, in addition to what you're talking about now, as opposed to the Tyson fight, did you feel more nervous this time? Maybe because the title shot was at stake. How would you compare the two?
no, I never look for title shot, and I say this all the time. I say it's good that he's there, but it's not something that I gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna put myself like, oh, I'm chasing this. I was more nervous on the Tyson fight because it was my first time. I was coming. It was almost my first time to fight after 2 years.
Hmm.
I was coming out of surgery. I was more nervous, and I was going to fight Tyson, my first boxing match. This time around, I get past that a little bit. I get more train better, had a better training camp. Hey, and this is one thing that also helped me like to be okay with it because like as far as training camp, I had like my best training camp. I was in my best condition, like the best. Like even if we have to start this camp again, I really don't see a thing that I should have done different, because we did a good training camp in Riyadh and everything was good, except that fight day that things was like little out of hand.
Was AJ better than you thought he would be, or did he hit harder? Or did he do anything that surprised you that you didn't take into
Okay.
account?
So first of all, the first punch that he hits me is basically the only punch that I remember.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the only punch that I remember. The second punch, I wasn't there, and I never remember being there for the second time, right? But the first one, he wasn't hard. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't like, oh man. It was like, really, like, am I tripping? Like, am I slipping or am I falling from the punch? No, I'm falling from the punch. I was surprised from falling for that punch, from the first time. I mean, obviously, then when you see the fight goes on, I was in the same. I was static. So yes, he load his forces, but at that time I wasn't feeling anymore. I was somewhere else.
Have you watched it again, the whole thing?
I watched. Like usually I don't watch my fight. I never even the Fury fight. I never watched.
Really?
Sometimes I just see like yeah. Sometimes I just see like highlight because I used to. I record my fight in my mind and I know every single step of the fight. Like every single. So most of the time, I don't have to go back to watch. I know exactly what happened, and I don't really like enjoy watch my fight. So even the Fury fight, I never really watch, but this one I watched multiple times, like to like okay, trying to understand like what happened. Like it wasn't until I get back to the locker room that later on that I know that I get knocked down twice
Wow.
before the knock. Yeah, but one thing that was that reassured me since I get up inside the ring. Since then, I remember everything. Like from the moment that I look around and I saw the doctor was in front of me trying to talk, and then I could see it on their lips, talk to me, and then I looked next to the cage. I saw my little sister, and then
Oh, I think your audio just got muted. Is that possible? We just lost your
That's
audio.
what happened. Yeah.
Did you mute your Zoom?
hello,
Oh yeah, you're back. Okay. You said I just heard the end. You said you saw your sister, and then it
hello,
got muted. Do you hear me? Oh, did we lose him?
hello.
Yes. Do you hear me, Frank?
Sorry.
You hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I just missed the end. You said you saw your sister, and then we lost your audio there.
Yeah, I mean, I turned around and then saw my sister next to the ring. I'm like, what is she doing there? And
Oh
I'm like, oh man, something went wrong.
man.
And yeah, that's the moment that I came back, and all of the sudden I felt good. Like I'm not like I felt good, but I started like collect my memory, and everything was right, and I never feel bad since then. But I saw the video, basically like the last punch. I'm like, oh, this was hard. So I don't want to like be walking around with a on with a concussion or something. So 2 days, 3 days ago, I went to the hospital like to check concussion or something. But he wasn't. Everything was okay.
Is it hard for you? You know, like for people who have watched you for so many years, it's shocking to see you even get rocked because we never even see you get hit with punch. Is it hard for you to watch that, especially the end? The way you fell was a little bit scary.
He was hard, but I think it's a reality that I have to face. You know, I have to watch it again. Like unlike other fight that I don't even watch, this one I even have to watch the most to understand. Like trying to understand, like okay, what? And then when I look, I'm like, I was never there. Not not to say like I couldn't lose this fight, right? Not to take any credit of AJ, but I wasn't there. I didn't fight. He was like the. But hey, listen, it is what it is. It happens. We take it and we move on. That's all I can say.
By the way, what about the way in which he handled the victory? I thought he was very classy and gracious. I'm sure maybe in the moment you didn't remember, but like seeing the clips, the things he was
I
saying to you.
remember everything.
Okay.
I remember everything.
Did
No, he was very gentle and he was very class, very nice. Um, I think he has always been. AJ is not a guy that will come up. He's not a show guy. He's calm, very respectful all along the way. That's how it is. He is.
do you think that version of Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury? You're the best person to ask this question to. You've been in there with both of them.
Listen, I I don't know. And again, I will tell you something. It wasn't me that fight Tyson Fury that was there fighting AJ.
Right.
It was somebody else. He was definitely somebody else. So yes, I lost this one drastically, but still can make that kind of statement. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't have imagined that this fight would be this way, like would be like this. Like I was ready, man. I don't know, but I mean, I was falling like a chicken, bro. Like Even the first time, I was surprised. Like, damn, like, am I really falling from this? Like even when you spar sometime and then you get hit, I'm like, damn, this guy fucking hit me. Like he hits hard. You feel it. Sometimes you go back home, like your jaw is like hurting because you get clipped, right? But you don't fall like that way. You take a punch that you don't feel it and you find yourself in the ground.
Does it annoy you at all that people have taken this result and used it to now judge the first fight? And like, oh, maybe the first fight was Tyson was out of shape or he didn't take it seriously, this and that. Do you know what I mean? Can you hear me?
Uh, Barely.
You hear me?
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello?
Hello?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
What I was asking was, does it annoy you that people have taken this result and used that to now have like a revisionist history, a judgment on the first fight? Oh, Tyson was out of shape. That's why that one happened. Or he wasn't taking you seriously, this and that. Look, this is the real version. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like now people are trying to rewrite history based on what happened here a couple of weekends ago when really one has nothing to do with the other, obviously. But I'm seeing that a lot. Do you see this as well? And does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me. I think I get to the point that we have been here so many times talking about Hamas, what people think, what people say, that I think I'm at the point that I don't really let what people say like affect me. I don't mind that much about what people said because they will always have something to say, right? But I also think this was exactly what was expected. I think every if I was treated wrong, everything that happened was just to restore this because regardless, I kind of like, disrespect the system a little bit.
Yeah. Um, and by the way, speaking of that, what did you make? I didn't have a chance to ask you about this. What did you make of Mr. Turkey Al Sheikh saying at the press conference, like, essentially saying that AJ needs to win to restore some order back in boxing? Do you hear me?
Yeah, what do you say?
I said, speaking of what you just said, what did you make at the press conference to announce the fight? Mr. Turkey Al Sheikh said that essentially AJ needs to beat you to restore some order back. Like he essentially said it at the press conference that he was hoping that AJ beat you. How did you feel about that? Did you feel like you were the one,
Well,
you
I
were kind of
think
the outsider?
I think he wasn't the only one hoping that AJ beat me. I think a lot of people um, was hoping that. But listen, I don't have any problem of anybody hoping anything, right? You can hope whatever you want. You have it's a fight business. Someone can just support AJ and want AJ to win. I really have no problem with that. It's okay, but um, not to help me, not to help him, or maybe um, as long as you don't help somebody, help him or take anything out of me, I'm okay. It's a fight. And sometimes you have two people that you like that are fighting each other. You have to support somebody for some reason, or just because you like that person more, or it's okay. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Right? My only problem is if something stand on my way and stop me from performing. I mean, I go there. You think I really walk in the ring to fight AJ? Like, oh, I'm going to beat AJ. No, I'm going to fight AJ, and I know that fight can go either way. So, and I don't have it. I mean, if you're thinking rationally, it makes sense that you think that AJ can win, or will win. You know, um, a lot of people been watching AJ for a long time. He stands for a lot in boxing, so I truly understand. I'm a intrude here, and I
Yes.
have no problem with that. I'm an intrude. I know that I'm an intrude, and it's okay, right?
Uh,
It's okay.
was this the biggest payday of your career?
Really? Are you serious?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Tyson. This one is this bigger
Well,
than
I
Tyson?
think I think it's the most disappointed fight of my career because not this. No, maybe not, but I don't see it as payday. My payday is up to come.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I just was wondering if like it keeps getting bigger, right? We know about the gun fight. We know about the Tyson. So I just wanted to see if
Hey,
there's.
bro. Hey, listen. Last year I was 36. This year I'm 37. Next year I'll be 38. So of course we'll keep getting bigger.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. What what are your doctors saying as far as when you could come back and when would you like to fight again?
No, I'm good. I'm healthy. I just want to give myself some time, but to start training. But I'm good. I'll take some time, enjoy life. I don't know. We will see what's happened. We would take vacation. Then the past 2 months was very intense. Basically, we were all in Riyadh, me and all my team. Basically, but ended up the way that it ended. I feel like we need to rest, take some time off, and then come back after.
What are you leaning towards? Next fight, MMA or boxing? Not going to hold you to it, but what is your heart saying right now?
Right now, um, right now, I don't know. Like I started to feel like boxing is now owe me something that I have to claim.
What do
You
you mean by
know,
that?
where the way that this fight happened is not the way that he is supposed to, or that he should have. So I think now I need to do boxing now to claim something.
Hmm.
You know, to claim my respect, to claim to claim everything. You know, yeah. Uh, MMA is there. I don't really know. It depend. I think it depend on the time frame of what's happened and the time frame also, like what is it. But maybe it could be MMA first. I don't really know. But yeah.
If it was boxing, is there someone in particular that interests you for the next step?
Mm, yeah, I think I still have to. I think Tyson Fury is still there. We and then this week, the 5 week, he was always around, like teasing me, like
Yes.
I don't know, like he was even in places that I didn't know what he was doing there, and teasing me. So I think there's a question mark there.
Okay. I have to ask, maybe you can weigh in or not, but I had heard that maybe you weren't 100% happy with the way the announcement was made of the winner of the Ryan Bader Renan Ferreira fight was put together. And that's perhaps why you didn't go in the cage after.
If I was unhappy,
Yeah, like you maybe weren't told before, and it all kind of happened very quickly that you had to make the announcement on that Thursday before the fight. Is that true? Were you upset about that?
upset about what? I didn't hear exactly what you're
Oh,
talking about.
that you remember a couple days before the Bellator PFL card, there was an
Yeah,
announcement made that the winner of the Ferreira versus Bader fight would fight you. And that you remember this announcement was made on the Thursday
yes,
before, and that this kind of
yeah.
happened very quickly and a little rushed, and maybe you didn't love the way it was handled, and that's why you didn't go into the cage on the Saturday after he knocked out
No,
Bader.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Of course, like he was a surprise. I mean, he came really fast and didn't let time to process. But I talked to P, and that wasn't a problem. I didn't go to in the cage, like when the fight finished. I was there, and everybody go to the cage, and I was there by my own. I mean, I don't know. It's not my show. I don't like decide to walk and go into the cage or something. I sat there for a little while, approach Renan Ferreira, and then that was it. Then at some point, I was by myself. I realized I should leave. That's what happened. But it's not like I was unhappy or something. No,
Okay, no one told you to go in the cage. You would have gone in if you were asked to.
no, nobody told me to go to the cage,
Okay, okay.
and I wasn't just going there like, oh, let me go to the cage or something. No, nobody told me to go to the cage. I never refused to go in the cage.
Does this fight interest you? I mean, he's a great fighter, but let's be honest, not on the same level name wise as Tyson or AJ or any of these guys. So do you get excited about the idea of fighting him?
I think I still get excited of the idea of fighting MMA. You know, unlike MMA now is like not like the easier one, but it's like the used one. It's now like the grassroots. Like what you know, I know that at least I mean in any fight you can lose, but at least in MMA there is a lot of things that I understand, a lot of things that can be controlled than boxing, which is a wild west.
Right. And it's a little bit more comfortable for you, right? You've been there, done that.
It's a little bit more comfortable, to be honest. Like, yeah,
Do you have to fight in
I have
MMA
I
this
have my
year?
own experience there.
Do you have to fight in MMA this year per your contract with PFL, or does it not have to be this year?
Everything can happen. I think it's all depend on the time frame. You know, at first he was like, okay, because the winner of my fight and Anthony was scheduled to fight the winner of Tyson Fury and Usyk, which is then he was like, okay, if I won the fight, um, which I know he wouldn't be the ideal scenario, at least for some people. But if I win the fight, um, then maybe I have to fight that first. But now everything is possible. I have no obligation to fight anyone first. So if the timing is right for MMA fights, then I fight first. If it's a boxing match that the timing comes first in the right time, then we do it.
Okay. By the way, just curious, do you look at any of the stuff between Tom Aspinall and John Jones and Aspinall's frustration with Jones and Jones wanting to fight Stipe and all this and kind of sit back and laugh and say, oh, I've been through all of this already and I'm glad I don't have to deal
It's
with
true.
this?
It's true. It's been through all that. You know, I get to the point that I start to feel like John a little bit, like like the deja vu.
Yeah, exactly. But are you happy you don't have to deal with that?
Huh?
Are you happy you don't have to deal with all of this drama?
No, it's a part of the business. You know, it is what it is. I mean, as you are in that business, that's what's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. And it's not a bad thing. You know, it's sport. It's competition. It's not like a war. It's not like enemies. I think they are just doing that like as a competitor. You know, and yeah. And sometimes when somebody says something that you don't care or that you don't want to respond, you don't respond. Nobody is forcing you of doing anything.
Okay.
So it's cool.
Do you have any regrets about obviously the way you felt is the way you felt, you can't change that, but is there anything you regret about the AJ fight? You know, we had AJ's coach on last week and he was talking about when you switched to southpaw, they were waiting for that and they felt like they could exploit that and you just mentioned Dewey mentioned. Is there anything you
No,
wish you
I
did
do not
differently?
have no regret because we can now that I lost the fight, we can say anything that I have done wrong. You know, we work on everything and everything was okay. Even like, and this wasn't only my option. You know, even in the southpaw, my defense is even more sharp than in the orthodox, right? Like usually like in the southpaw, to take a right backhand from the southpaw, this is something that even in the sparring never happened, and I have been there so many times practicing, right? So I really have no regrets because that was our game plan. That was our training, and then we approve everything. And I really have no regret. We work toward that. We make that decision. We stand by. And if it doesn't, if it no, since it didn't work, but that's not the reason why I'm like, oh no, it was so bad. No, no. In the same with the same southpaw, I think we basically won the fight against Tyson.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%.
But the same thing could have happened with Tyson as well, and they would be like, oh yeah, you switched to southpaw. No,
Are we going to see one of these guys
it's
come
not
over to
about the
MMA
stand.
and fight you? That would be a nice little wrinkle, right? One of these heavyweights come over to MMA.
Say it again, please.
One of these heavyweights come over to MMA. Any chance of that? One of the heavyweights
One of these heavyweights.
from boxing come to MMA now. Do you think you could get any of them to do that?
No, come
No.
on, bro.
No.
Come on.
No chance?
Why would I do that?
I don't know. I think Deontay was open to it for a minute. Wasn't he open to it?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Deontay. I think he's the guy that will just go out there to fight. He's not calculating everything like that, He will just go out there to fight. So he's a guy that, if there is a guy that can do something like that, he will be Deontay.
Okay. Last question. And again, thank you very much for the time. I feel like we kept you company on this ride, so it was good for both of us, right? It's boring to be in the car by yourself.
Yeah, thank you. that was great. I was so lonely.
I bet. When possibly do you think we see you again in any type of fighting? When do you think? In the summer, after the summer? What are you feeling?
As I said, everything depends on the timing. I will take some time off, maybe one month, then start to train. That's all. One or 2 months, and then start to train. Then from there, and from any time that I can be in shape in any fight, I'll be able to fight.
Before it's all done, Francis, we have to see you in Africa, a fight in Africa. This has to happen.
Hopefully, but it's not the easiest one, though.
It's not. You don't think we're close?
It's not the easier one to get it done. To have to fight in Africa.
You don't feel like we're closer to it?
Yeah.
You don't feel like we're getting closer to it? You still feel like it's a big hurdle?
I don't know. Maybe PFL.
Okay. All right.
Maybe PFL Africa.
Yes.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. That would be great. You deserve that.
But if I get a fight with PFL in Africa, I think, that would be cool.
Well, I'm happy you're okay. Well done once again on dreaming big, daring to be great, and looking forward to when you jump back in there. It's always exciting with you. It's always very interesting, and always appreciate your time, Francis. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your feelings. I know it wasn't a very pleasant experience to talk about, but means a lot, and I appreciate it very much. So thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate you.
Okay. And we'll talk soon, all right?
Anytime.
You're the man. Thank you, Francis. Au revoir. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.